Tonight, even though the Democrats took control of Congress today, some on the far left are not happy. When Democratic Congressman Rahm Emanuel tried to give a speech yesterday, here's what happened.
At every step of the average. Okay. At every step. All right. All right. We're going to keep going here. We're going to have a. Thank you.
Bill Emanuel could not get his remarks out. Joining us from Washington, Sarah Taylor, prominent member of the far-left group, The World Can't Wait. Why some members of your group were in that mob, that screaming mob. Why do you do that, and what's the worthiness of that?
Well, Bill, right now what we see is the U.S. is involved in a criminal war in Iraq. It was launched illegally. It's cost hundreds of thousands of Iraqi lives. It's cost thousands of U.S. soldiers' lives. There's been a whole doctrine of preemptive war that's been codified into place, and an institutionalization of torture. These are war crimes and crimes against humanity, and if Congress is not speaking about them, so people have an obligation to step up and speak the truth and to demand a stop to these crimes.
Okay, so you're saying that the new Democrat Congress in here now, you're not even going to give them a chance to address the things that you just said. You're going to just shout them down so they can't even address it even if they wanted to. Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Democrats have made very abundantly clear that they are not calling for an immediate withdrawal from Iraq. This is the only just solution right now.
Okay, so unless the Democrats or the Republicans or whoever is elected immediately withdraw from Iraq, you will not let them speak. Your group will shout them down. This is your version of democracy. You think this is what the country should be.
They speak all the time. The voices that are not heard are the voices like Cindy Sheehan's, like the protesters who are out today demanding
plenty of publicity, and she gets plenty of opportunities.
The voices talking about the war crimes that are being committed in our names right now, the fact that because of the U.S. occupation of Iraq, hundreds of thousands of Iraqi people's lives have been destroyed, people have been killed, torture has been committed and legalized.
Okay, but look,
these things are not being discussed the way they should.
Ms. Taylor, that's your opinion, okay? And you're entitled under the Constitution to your opinion.
But those are facts.
No, they're not facts. You are a
lunatic. Torture is being
You're a lunatic.
Committed?
And if you weren't a lunatic, 90% of America would agree with you. You're a lunatic. You got maybe 8% that agree with you.
No, the majority
you
of
just
the country
take this stuff
is against this president and against this war.
The majority of the country, Ms. Taylor, with all due respect, think that you're a loon. Okay,
That's
and wouldn't
not
be
true.
yes. And if they were with you, they would be out with the signs when you demonstrate, instead of you and your paltry little group, which number about 50 or 60.
That
all
is a
you
lie
want
as
is
well.
attention.
That is a lie as well. No, we don't want attention. We want an end to the crimes being committed in our names, or we're complicit with them.
Okay, then what's wrong with the American people in voting in for 2 terms President Bush and now voting in Democrats whom you say won't do anything differently? What's wrong with the majority of the American people? Are we all stupid or immoral?
Everybody knows. No, the majority of the American people opposed George Bush. I don't think they're stupid.
Okay,
but
they voted him in
knows,
twice.
Everybody knows that people went to the polls in November largely motivated by their opposition to this illegal war and opposition to George Bush. And if Congress will not respond to that, then we have an obligation to the people of the world and to the people of this country. Are we going to be the generation that's remembered as the people who sat back and allowed torture to be legalized?
What exactly is your obligation? To shout down people like Rahm Emanuel?
No,
he's a liberal Democrat.
Rahm Emanuel walked out of there. That was his choice to do. He has the platform all the time. That's beside the point.
So you think you have an obligation to shout him down? That is your obligation.
We have an obligation to bring the crimes of this administration to a halt.
Okay, but that's not going to happen because most Americans...
It's not going to happen unless people stand up and speak.
It's not going to happen ever because they don't agree with you.
No,
they don't think you're correct. And if they did, then you would have millions of people.
A war of aggression by Nuremberg standards. No, by Nuremberg standards, with no legitimate cause of self-defense. That's a war of aggression. That's a war crime of the highest order. That's an objective fact.
Let me just recap. You believe that your group, as small as it is, has a right to shout down Congress
You're
people.
saying that torture should be allowed to go on just because George Bush and the Congress don't want to challenge it. I'm saying that's unconscionable, Bill.
Okay, you know,
that's
if the country were the way that you portray it, you would be in Guantanamo bay being tortured.
14,000 people.
Okay. If the country were the way you are portraying it, you'd be hanging up on a hook someplace. George Bush has proclaimed for himself
the right to detain anybody without charges, without a lawyer, without even knowing what charges are against them.
Ms. Taylor,
this is a cornerstone of the rule of law.
According to you, all of our Congress people are corrupt.
Complicit. They're complicit.
All of them. They're all complicit. They're all corrupt. And the American people are too stupid to know what you know.
No, I don't think that the American people are too stupid. I think the American people actually agree, which is why they are opposed to George Bush, and they happen to agree with what we're saying.
You know, the Land of Oz is a lovely place.
Bill, they do agree with us.
I hope you enjoy it there.